Welcome back to our channel on this beautiful day. We're thrilled to bring you the latest, most exciting updates from Genoa. The shooting spree could shake the entire city of Genoa, as Adam is seriously injured. Sally is also hospitalized. Family conflicts within the Newman family escalate. The city of Genoa is currently trembling on the precipice of a catastrophic eruption, one that threatens to leave a trail of devastation in its wake. The central figure in this impending disaster is none other than Adam Newman, a man who is walking a perilous tightrope of his own design. He is willingly, almost eagerly, stepping directly into the crosshairs of a deeply unstable and highly dangerous Billy Abbott. The rivalry between these two titans of industry is not merely a historical footnote, it is a boiling blood feud that is about to claim new, innocent casualties. Adam is meticulously orchestrating a masterclass in corporate sabotage, utilizing every weapon in his arsenal to dismantle his enemies. But as the shadows lengthen over the Newman Empire, one must ask, at what devastating cost will this victory come? Will his unquenchable thirst for vengeance ultimately lead to his own tragic demise? Adam Newman is currently harboring a dark and highly calculated blueprint for absolute destruction. He has meticulously crafted a strategy to weaponize Newman Media, intending to use the media conglomerate as a blunt instrument to utterly crush Kane Ashby and Billy Abbott simultaneously. His vision is ruthlessly clear. Orchestrate a scenario so disastrous that Lily Winters will be backed into an impossible corner, forced by her own corporate obligations to fire both Kane and Billy to save Chancellor Industries from total ruin. Adam views this not just as a business maneuver, but as a righteous crusade to make Billy pay for years of perceived slights. The psychological nuances of Adam's need to assert dominance are profound, especially given the recent, world-shattering revelation that he is not Victor Newman's biological son. He is a man desperately trying to prove his worth through sheer ruthlessness. Will Lily Winters actually see through his complex machinations, or will she unwittingly become the executioner of Adam's grand, destructive design? Watching this dark descent from the sidelines is Chelsea Lawson, a woman consumed by an escalating and paralyzing terror. She sees the familiar, suffocating darkness beginning to consume Adam once again, a shadow she desperately hoped they had left behind for the sake of their fragile family. Chelsea knows intimately that Billy Abbott is currently operating like a ticking time bomb, his sanity fraying at the edges under the weight of his own profound paranoias. In the quiet, tense confines of their penthouse, Chelsea launches a desperate, tear-filled plea, begging Adam to abandon this suicidal mission of revenge. She reminds him of the fragile stability they have built for their son, Connor, and the catastrophic risks of reigniting a war that has historically left them both in ruins. Her heart breaks as she watches the man she loves choose warfare over peace. Can Chelsea's enduring love act as a strong enough anchor to pull him back, or is Adam already too far gone into the terrifying abyss of his own deep-seated hatred? Refusing to be a passive victim in this unfolding tragedy, Chelsea decides to take matters into her own trembling hands. Driven by a fierce protective instinct, she marches directly over to Billy Abbott's residence, stepping boldly into the lion's den. The atmosphere inside the house is incredibly thick with unresolved tension and bitter resentments. Chelsea confronts Billy, accusing him of orchestrating a relentless and cruel campaign to drive a permanent wedge between Adam and Victor Newman. She challenges Billy's morality, pointing out his hypocritical nature and his historical tendency to project his own massive failures onto Adam. It is a clash of two people who know each other's darkest secrets and deepest vulnerabilities. As the accusations fly and the volume escalates, the air crackles with the danger of long-buried resentments coming to light. What dark, unspoken truths will this explosive confrontation finally unearth from the shadowy corners of their shared, tumultuous past? Billy Abbott, however, is not a man who backs down easily, especially when he feels cornered by his own spiraling mind. Instead of absorbing Chelsea's desperate pleas, he immediately goes on the offensive, turning the psychological screws on her with masterful cruelty. He paints a terrifying portrait of Adam as an unredeemable monster, a highly toxic force of nature that will inevitably destroy Chelsea and completely traumatize young Connor. Billy aggressively urges Chelsea to pack her bags and dump Adam immediately, framing it as the only logical way to save herself before she becomes collateral damage in Adam's inevitable implosion. Billy's manipulation is sharp, precise, and designed to strike at the very core of Chelsea's maternal fears. He knows exactly which buttons to push to destabilize her entirely. Will Billy's venomous and calculated words successfully plant the insidious seeds of doubt that finally shatter Chelsea's fragile vision of a happy family? Leaving Billy's residence, Chelsea is left profoundly shaken, her mind a swirling vortex of conflicting emotions and terrifying hypotheticals. The fierce confrontation has forced her to confront the agonizing reality of her situation. She is torn between her deep, enduring love for Adam and the undeniable, terrifying truth that his thirst for vengeance is putting his physical safety and their family's future in severe jeopardy. The stakes have never been higher. This is no longer just a corporate game, it is a matter of life, death, and psychological survival. Chelsea finds herself standing at a devastating crossroads, the immense weight of the world pressing down on her shoulders. She must decide whether to continue fighting for a man who seems determined to self-destruct, or to prioritize her own sanity. Will she choose to stand bravely by a man who adamantly refuses to lay down his sword, or will she ultimately flee into the night to protect herself and her son from the impending, explosive fallout? While Chelsea battles her internal demons, the narrative setting shifts to the upscale, sophisticated ambience of society, where a different kind of tension is brewing. Adam Newman unexpectedly bumps into Sally Spectra, and the air between them instantly crackles with a complex mixture of unresolved feelings, lingering regrets, and the ever-present ghost of their lost baby, Ava. Sally is currently pregnant with Billy's child, a fact that makes this seemingly casual encounter profoundly loaded and emotionally dangerous for both of them. They exchange glances that speak volumes of the history they share, a history marred by tragedy and intense passion. Despite the bustling environment of the restaurant, they are momentarily trapped in their own private bubble of sorrow and what-ifs. As they navigate this highly delicate and emotionally charged conversation, one cannot help but wonder about the underlying currents. Will this brief, poignant moment of connection unexpectedly reignite their old, dangerous flames, or will it serve to finalize their tragic and permanent separation? Looking deeply into Adam's eyes, Sally drops the polite facade and issues a stern, incredibly desperate warning. Her voice trembling with genuine concern, she begs him to stay far away from Billy Abbott. Sally is intimately aware of Billy's current state of severe paranoia, especially regarding Chancellor Industries, the hidden archives, and his desperate need to prove himself. She implores Adam to drop his vendetta, to focus on his own career trajectory, and to let this toxic rivalry finally die a natural death before it consumes them all. She sees the storm brewing in Billy's eyes at home, and knows that Adam is carelessly walking into a trap of unpredictable violence. Her plea is rooted in a deep, lingering affection for Adam's well-being, despite everything that has transpired between them. Will Adam actually heed the heartfelt warning of the woman he once loved so deeply? Or will his blinding pride and insatiable need for revenge make him completely oblivious to the lethal danger she so clearly foresees? The profound, tragic irony of Sally's desperate warning hangs heavy over the entire city of Genoa. Here she is, risking her own emotional stability to protect Adam from Billy's unraveling sanity, completely unaware of the horrifying fate that awaits her. She does not realize that her very connection to Adam, and the secrets they share regarding Newman Media, will soon become the catalyst for Billy's ultimate psychological break. She is trying to prevent a war, not knowing that she is destined to become its most tragic casualty. The narrative tension is absolutely unbearable, a slow-motion train wreck that the audience can see coming but the characters are powerless to stop. As the pieces on this dangerous chessboard continue to move into their final, fatal positions, a terrifying question echoes through the minds of everyone involved. When the inevitable, violent collision between Adam and Billy finally occurs, who will truly pay the ultimate, devastating price? Meanwhile, in an entirely different corner of Genoa City, a completely separate but equally dangerous conspiracy is rapidly taking shape. Kane Ashby, heavily burdened by the crushing knowledge of Jill Abbott's secret terminal illness and the mysterious heir outlined in her hidden will, is operating on a razor's edge of panic. In a moment of high anxiety, Kane abruptly interrupts a quiet, intimate moment between Holden and Claire. The sudden, jarring shift in dynamics is palpable as Kane's frantic energy invades their space. He is a man who looks like he is constantly looking over his shoulder, terrified that his fragile house of cards is about to collapse. His intrusion is not just rude, it is a clear manifestation of a man losing his grip on his carefully constructed reality. What dark, earth-shattering secrets is Kane so incredibly desperate to protect that he would carelessly disrupt the lives and relationships of those around him without a second thought. Following the awkward interruption, Holden excuses himself and moves downstairs to the bar, seeking a moment of peace. However, Kane quickly follows him, his demeanor shifting from merely anxious to pure, unadulterated paranoia. In the dimly lit corners of the bar, Kane expresses his deep-seated, terrifying fear of Billy Abbott's increasingly erratic and unpredictable behavior. He tells Holden that the situation has escalated beyond standard corporate rivalry. It is now a matter of survival. Kane insists that he desperately needs someone he can implicitly trust to monitor Billy's every single move, to become his eyes and ears in a war where the enemy is highly unstable. He is practically begging for an ally in his shadow war against the Abbott heir. Will Kane's desperate, all-consuming need for absolute control be the very thing that accidentally exposes the dark, devastating secrets he is trying so hard to keep hidden from the world? Leaning in close, Kane reveals the specific, terrifying root of his current paranoia: Billy's sudden, intense obsession with the Chancellor archives. Kane knows that hidden within those dusty files and encrypted servers lies the explosive truth about Jill's rapidly declining health and the shocking identity of the secret Chancellor heir. If Billy digs deep enough and uncovers these truths, Kane's leverage and his entire future at the company will be instantly vaporized. With a heavy heart and a demanding tone, Kane officially tasks Holden with this highly dangerous, covert espionage mission. He needs Holden to track Billy's digital footprint and physical access to the archives, reporting back every anomaly. It is a massive breach of trust and a highly unethical request that places Holden directly in the line of fire. Will Holden accept this treacherous, morally compromising assignment? Or will he suddenly realize he is being used as a disposable pawn in a billionaire's ruthless war? Holden stands there, completely bewildered and highly skeptical of the entire situation. He looks at Kane and questions the fundamental, glaring flaw in the logic of Kane's actions. If Kane truly believes that Billy is this dangerous, this unstable, and this untrustworthy, why on earth is he keeping him around at Chancellor Industries at all? Why not just cut Billy loose, fire him, and eliminate the threat entirely? Kane's inability to answer this question truthfully, because he is secretly bound by Jill's strict, dying wishes to keep Billy involved but controlled, creates a suffocating, heavy tension between the two men. Holden can sense the deception. He knows Kane is hiding a massive piece of the puzzle. The silence that follows Holden's question is deafening, filled with unspoken threats and hidden agendas. Will Holden's sharp instincts lead him to uncover the real, heartbreaking reason behind Kane's forced, agonizing tolerance of Billy Abbott?